It was listed on Facebook Marketplace for $100, but my husband ended up buying it for $25. My plan was to keep it to myself, but before I could install it, a neighbor saw it and bought it for $800. Let me show you how I transformed it. The sink itself, it was okay, but the vanity under the cabinet, it was a disaster. It needed so much work and it was so filthy. My first step is cleaning, and I remove the hardware because that is gonna be replaced. After I pass my vacuum to remove all the dust and use water with this soap to clean it up. And after that I rinse it just with clean water. When I was cleaning, I find out that one of the wood on the back it was split. So after I clean it, I glued that little piece of wood and I clamped it. Also, another step that I took is that I removed with a blade all the old silicone that was attached to my piece because that wouldn't let me to have a good paint job. Now to prepare the surface, the first thing that I did is cover with wood filler all the old holes that I'm not gonna use. It used to be like a stabilizer bar on the back that the old owner removed, and I'm not gonna put another one. And after that, I sand with 220 the whole surface, the doors, inside, everywhere. Because this has so many curves on my sander, I put a pad that it has foam. That helps me to prevent to damage the areas where it's curved on the wood. When it was fully sanded, I took it home and I give it a clean with alcohol and a rag to make sure it was no dust on it. And in that moment, I discovered it was an area where my sander couldn't reach and the finish was failing, so that I have to sand by hand. And after that, I clean it again with alcohol and a raw. When I glued the wood that I was splitting on the back, I noticed that this was not real wood, that it was actually plywood. So for that reason, I will have to prime the whole piece inside out, even on the areas where you won't see it. Normally, I wouldn't take this step that far, but because this is going into the bathroom, which is a place where there's a lot of moist, I need to make sure this is gonna be sealed properly. I also gave it 3 coats of primer instead of 2 like I would normally do. And the only reason that I'm priming is not because I'm scared of any bleed through, it's more because I wanted to seal the wood to don't allow the moist of the bathroom to damage the piece with the time. After I apply my 3 coats of primer, I start with the painting. For this piece, I choose a midnight blue, and I choose blue. My husband wanted white, but I didn't want a white because the sink it was white, and visually, it was gonna be too much for my taste. So I ended up choosing this midnight blue, which is the color that I made myself using the bare enamel trim and cabinet paint, and is water based. Because I always like to have a nice surprise, I make this stencil with gold wax in the interior of the door. After I let my wax to dry, because this is water-based wax, I can clean up with a little bit more paint on the places where I messed it up. And after that, I apply my top coat. For this time, I use General Fennel High Performance Satin top coat, because this one is excellent for places like the bathroom. I applied 3 coats in no 4 coats in total. The only thing that I didn't like much about this top coat is that it says it's satin, but it dries more glossy than satin. But that's the only thing. Actually, after I let it dry, I scratched it on the back with a knife to see how good it was, and it didn't get any scratch. And for the hardware, I pink gold the hardware because I was gonna replace the faucets. And I also paint with spray paint the hinge. This is how it looks like, and this was the bathroom of my neighbor. It was disgusting, no wondering why he wanted an upgrade. And this is how it looks after I install the new bathroom vanity on his bathroom. It's gorgeous. I'm so sad I couldn't keep it to myself. But now I'm trying to find another one to make one for myself. I suggest him to just change the faucet since I paint the hardware gold, and he told me that he was gonna think about it. I have to say that after the installation, his bathroom looked like a complete different space.